Maybe wait, my buttons. There we go. Okay. So we're going to let Hannah go first this time because Hannah was super excited about this in our last segment. So what 2 brand new on display books, or at least new to us, I think maybe they're older published, but I was replacing old copies of things. So what new display books do you have that you think we should read? And why do you think we should read them? And while you do that, I'm going to take a look at mine because I haven't looked at them yet.
Listen to Your Heart.
Cassie West, isn't it? Yeah. She's very popular. We have trouble keeping her books on the shelf.
Well, I pronounced her name wrong. I said Casey.
Well, it could be Casey. Cassie. It's probably Casey because there's only one S.
Oh, they're by the same person?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
You can tell what type of book you're drawn to. So why do you want to read this one?
Honestly, because the cover looks interesting.
Well, that, and because she turns out to be a pretty good host, like podcast host.
Well, that's cool.
And she also has an unnamed crush.
There's always an unnamed crush.
So
It's not a good
mysterious.
romance book unless there's like an unnamed crush of some kind.
Yeah, that we gotta find out in like later on in the story.
The story of secrets, love, and friendship will win over hearts everywhere.
Nice. What was the other one? Fame, Fate, and the First
Kiss.
Okay, why does this one look like fun? And you can skip over all those words if you want to.
Also because the cover.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
Because Lucy Barnes has dreams of being an actress, but learns that life in the spotlight isn't picture perfect as she imagined. And like someone on set is gonna try to like sabotage her.
Sounds fun. I like a good little bit of intrigue mixed in with my romance every once in a while. And these can both be found. My arm will stretch long enough. These can both be found on display in the Teen Zone. Or, once they're not new and off display, in the W's.
Okay.
So what do you have?
The 2 new books I want to read is The Night Fox.
That's got a cool cover.
It's about a 17-year-old girl that goes on this like isolated mountain with her friends, and she has like this mental illness, and she doesn't want to be there, so she's acts like she wants to be there, and she's happy and stuff just to get out of there. And something happens, and they have to figure out like what's going on and stuff. So that's interesting. And the other book is Alone Out Here.
That sounds sad and depressing, but okay.
Well,
Is it sad and depressing?
talking about
The year is 2072. Oh, that sounds fun.
yeah.
Do you know how old I'll be in 2072?
80.
Actually, you were very close. I will be 82.
You are 2 years off, Hannah.
Like, that sounds exhausting.
I don't even want to imagine.
I'm not convinced I want to be
like.
that old.
Yeah.
I also don't want to die. I don't have time for that. So I will probably live to be that old, but...
I don't want to.
Yeah, but it's about a volcanic eruption.
Oh, so we went like boom. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to have that.
Like scientists and other people are trying to figure out how to like help
Fix the problem?
people, yeah, help fix the problem and get like important people out of there before it actually, gets worse. So,
I imagine, based on a conversation that we had in recording the conversation podcast for February, the harder they try to fix the problem, the worse it's going to get. Which is probably going to make that interesting to read. Because generally speaking, humans...
make the problem worse.
They do, yes. Doesn't matter how hard we try.
Especially scientists. They tried to, they make these, new ideas as they go, and it doesn't work, and it just makes the problem worse, and it's just, stop.
Yeah, we try really hard.
Yeah. It don't work until until it's almost too late, and then they find a way, and then it's like, it is too late, and it's just like, okay, to do all these dumb things that doesn't need to happen, instead of doing what's like necessary until like the end, until it's like too late to help.
Yep.
It's just like,
especially in science fiction. Like the guys who make the storm machine that creates the storm, or the idiots who extracted the dinosaur DNA and mixed it with frog DNA. So yeah, there's always something. Okay, I pulled Never Vacation with Your Ex just because that's a really good title.
Even the title makes it sound interesting.
This is a
who would want to do that?
It does sound horrible, doesn't it? It's, let's see, 17-year-old volleyball star Kaylee Jordan lives a life of player rankings, constant training, and a carefully curated social media full of followers watching to see if she'll go pro out of high school like her famous mom. Let's see. She loves going on her summer vacation every year, but this year there's a problem. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, they always go off with family friends, but Kaylee and their son Dean, they dated, and she just dumped him. And now they got a vacation together.
Oh, that sounds.
I don't know. Like I said, I really just picked this one because of the title. That's a good title. It's probably good life advice. You probably do not want to vacation with an ex. However, based on the general cover,
they're gonna get together.
The fact that it's a teen romance and that the tag is sun, sand, and second chances, there's a pretty good chance these two are gonna work it out and end up back together.
You can tell by the cover they're gonna get back together at the end. It's just
it's that kind of book.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of seeing how they get there.
Yeah.
Which should be pretty interesting.
How they get back together. Yeah.
And
they could make each other
and why
jealous.
Exactly, and why
that's
they
how
didn't.
It always goes.
Yeah, and why she unceremoniously dumped him, and what's going on. So
there had to be a reason why she dumped him.
And there's a pretty good chance it was a stupid reason.
Probably cheating.
That would not be a stupid reason. That would be a good reason. Okay. My other one, I Loved You in Another Life. This one looks really cool. It's like a past lives thing where they've been trying to get together over and over and over again. And maybe this time they're actually going to make it work. Because let's see. He has plans and she has dreams, and it's whether or not they're going to be able to make those work. And instead they're finding their way to each other, and over it all, to transcending time and space, a celestial bird brings strangers together. From an escaped murderer in 19th century Paris to a Norwegian cosmonaut in low Earth orbit, something is happening that began long ago and will long outlast Evan and Shosh. With lyrical prose and original songs, written and recorded by the author, which I bet there's some kind of linking information to it in this book so that you could listen while you read. That's kind of cool. It explores the history of love and how some souls are meant for each other, yesterday, today, and forever. I like that kind of, destiny sort of thing. So, that one looks like fun. Plus, it's just such a pretty cover. Look at that cover. But yeah, so those are the two I grabbed. Do we have anything else brand new and exciting we're, gung-ho excited to read? No? Okay, well, we had some good stuff. Don't forget, these are all available in the Teen Zone on display at the library, which is always fun and exciting. We want you to be here and picking things out and seeing what we got. Anything else to add to any of our bookish type discussions? Okay, then if you're done and I'm done, I'm going to push the button. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what?
Books we recommend.
Yes, okay. In theory, these are books we have already read and enjoyed and can tell other people that they should totally read and enjoy. But honestly, I'll take anything that isn't one of my brand new books because those are for the next segment. Yeah. So, what do you have?
I got the second book of The Fifth Wave, The Infinite Sea.
I never read those. Are those good?
I've watched the movies. I haven't read the book. So
So you're recommending a book you haven't read?
No.
Okay. I have heard really good things about at least one of the books. Blaze used to talk about The Fifth Wave in book club all the time. It was one of his go-tos when he didn't have anything else to talk about. So like I've heard good things. I know why we like it. I've just never gotten around to reading it. So why would you want to read it since you haven't read it yet? Why would you want to?
Because it's kind of like a romance thing.
I'm all for that. Like,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
And it's kind of mysterious because there's like aliens in it or some type of like.
Yeah, isn't it kind of like an end of the world dystopian kind of thing?
Yeah,
Because like the
'cause,
aliens
all
came
these,
in
like,
and
disasters happen and they're trying to figure out what's like doing it, and they're
okay, kind of
they
cool.
can't explain, and it's just
Yeah, okay. Now, in our previous segment, you talked about the fact that you are currently reading Twilight. Would you recommend that book?
yes.
See, there you go. Have you read all 4 of them, or are you on
Yeah.
your first time through?
I've read all of them.
Me too. You know, I have read them. I am so old that the first time I read them, they weren't all 4 out.
Jeez.
And that there wasn't really even a whole lot of hype yet, because when I went to Barnes & Noble and found the second one, I was like, oh, hey, I didn't know there was a second one. Sometimes I date myself when we talk about this. But if you enjoyed Twilight and you like that kind of format where it's like boy and girl and supernatural and another boy,
You're gonna like this book.
then you might like this one.
Yeah.
But you'll definitely like Becca Fitzpatrick's Hush Hush series. I really, really like that one. And they've been trying to get the movie off the ground for a couple of years. So I really hope, fingers crossed, that this time it happens. Because that, I think, would be really cool. Because, like, the first 2 books follow, like, the Twilight pattern. The first 2 books, like, they're very almost identical in pattern of the boy and the girl, and then the other boy, and he ditches her because he thinks he's going to save her by ditching her, and that just makes us mad. Don't do that.
Like he's gonna protect her. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Like, life advice
In
from
reality,
Jami, just...
it doesn't. You're just leaving her alone.
Exactly, and that just makes us mad. We don't like other people making our decisions for us. So, like, life advice from Jami, just don't do that. That's a dumb idea. Like, if you want to leave somebody, but don't claim that it is for the benefit of the somebody.
And it's for their own good.
Yeah, exactly.
She
Just-
was old enough to make her own decisions.
Exactly.
Could have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do that. Just makes us mad.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is, like, those 2, like, so, like, the first 2 follow kind of the same pattern, same format, but then the 3rd and the 4th one go kind of like off in a left field. It's really cool. It's like fallen angels, which is a topic we don't talk about nearly as often as we do like vampires. So like it's that one I do recommend. I recommend that one as being super cool. That one's a good one. We have all 4 of them. At least we did. I think maybe I have to reorder the first one again, but I think we do have all of them. That one's a fun one. So, do you have anything that you would recommend as being a good book to read?
Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss.
Have you read this one?
No, not yet.
But that's one of our new books, right?
Yes.
So it should be in our next segment when we talk about new books.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Then wait a minute. Do you have anything else that you would recommend as being good to read off the top of your head? I know off the top of your head is hard. I'm bad at that, but...
No.
Mm-mm. Okay, the only ones I have with me are, as stated previously, technically you started it, Analyze and Her Monsters, because I needed it as reference to explain the book I'm currently reading that I left at my house. Always good choices, and I do enjoy the Hush Hush series. That one's a good one, Becca Fitzpatrick. And she also wrote a couple standalones that are like kind of like murder mystery. If you're into that kind of thing too. Like one of them, it was like a survival mountain thing with a murder mystery. And then there's one where it's like a witness protection program thing. I bought them, but I haven't read them because I don't really read those. But Jasmine would probably like them.
Hello.
Yeah. So, anything else that we would recommend as being super awesome you should definitely pick up? No? That's okay. We had a couple. That's better than nothing. I'm impressed. Okay, so if you push your button, I will push Okay, so who are you? That's usually how we lead into these. Who are you?
My name's Linda Walton.
You come next.
I'm Hannah Walton, and I'm secretary.
You are our TAC secretary, and you're just, what, a regular run-of-the-mill member?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. We like to hear from the regular run-of-the-mill members because a lot of times the officers are the ones who get stuck doing everything. So it's nice to, slide somebody else in there every once in a while. What kind of book are we talking about first?
What we're currently reading.
Yes, we're going to talk what we're currently reading. Are we all currently reading something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay! For the record, this is surprising and will surprise anybody who's been paying attention over the years. I, personally, myself, Jami, have already read 2 books this year that were not picture books. Just that's pretty impressive. I think all of 23, I read 5 books that weren't picture books. There weren't very many of them. So what are we currently reading?
I'm reading Twilight.
Oh, always fun.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's not super advanced literature or anything, but they're fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes reading should just be fun. Mm-hmm. So why do you like it?
Because it has vampires in it.
Good reason. I like a good vampire story. Who's better, vampires or werewolves? In general.
Vampires.
They do tend to be a little bit better. Sometimes it depends on who's telling the story, which one's better, but most of the time I do like a good vampire better than a werewolf. Mm-hmm. Do you have an opinion on vampires versus werewolves?
No.
No? Do you like either of them?
I like them both.
Okay, yeah,
There's only 2 characters I like one on one side and one on the other.
Okay.
Which is Jacob and Edward, so.
Yeah, okay. They're good ones to like. You're not as sneaky as you think you are, for the record. Okay, anyway, yeah, no, they're good ones. I honestly, personally, I am a big fan of Alice. I think Alice is the best.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Her boyfriend?
Jasper.
Jasper, thank you. I could see his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like them. I think they're fun.
Yeah. And they're a cute couple, too.
They are a cute couple, too, yes. And they do a very good job of being supportive and communicating with each other, which is very impressive to find in any kind of literature,
nowadays.
But teen literature especially. It's all about the drama, which is sometimes nice, but that's a lot. I mean, sometimes you just want people to be happy, mostly because you don't see the happy, and so it's real nice sometimes when you get to. Okay, you said you were currently reading something. What are you currently reading?
I don't have it with me, though.
That's okay.
It's called Romeo and Juliet.
How are you liking it? Because in the past, when we have talked about Romeo and Juliet, TAC members have not enjoyed that particular Shakespeare play as much as some of the others.
Especially when I read in my class, I had to do the play in front of the whole class. I did not like that part. I like reading the book. I just hate doing the whole play in front of the class. It's
Yeah, sometimes it's a little extra tricky.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We haven't done a play of it.
Oh, nice.
We've read we're in Act 2 now, and
that's probably why you're still reading it.
And we're starting to watch part of Act 1, part of the movie.
Which movie version are you doing? Is it a recording of a stage production, or is it the weird one with Leonardo DiCaprio? I mean, I like looking at his face, but that was a weird one because they kept the old English Shakespearean, they kept the dialogue almost identical, but it was in modern times with gang wars.
Right.
The whole movie's just weird. A lot of people, that is their favorite movie. And I don't
get Romeo and Juliet because they met and they fall in love and you get married a day after.
Okay, so like
get
I
away with that
love the
nowadays.
trope of these two people are not supposed to like each other,
Yeah.
but they do. I love that. Like there are reasons why these two shouldn't work, but they work better than everybody else. However, I also understand the major problematic issues with the actual story of Romeo and Juliet and the fact that like she was 14 and he was like 17 and like they got married just because like what else were they gonna do, and like they like it's the complete lack of nobody checked anything. They just, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, he's dead. I'm gonna kill myself. Like,
Yeah, like-
if anybody had talked to anybody else, you could have saved the whole problem.
Yeah. Like, if they told their
Right?
if they told their parents and they were like, yeah, I love them and stuff.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, but
They'd
like,
have ended up married to somebody else.
yeah.
They had to elope.
Yeah.
They had to run away together.
Yeah.
But maybe they should have waited until they were like,
A little older.
yeah, like say 16?
Yeah.
Because it was the 1400s. So like
Yeah.
life expectancy was a lot smaller then. But like 14 is probably not the best age to be making life and death decisions that will affect you for the rest of your life. Like, it's just, I don't necessarily recommend it.
Yeah. And
Do you have any opinions? You're the one who's currently reading this. I've already read it a long time ago.
Yeah, I have to.
Don't really have an opinion, but when we were watching the movie in the part where they kissed, I got loud in class. Everybody looked at me, and one guy named Blake Nixon, he's like, "Was that necessary?" I looked at him like, "Yes, it was necessary."
Okay. If you're gonna read Shakespeare, honestly, my favorite is Midsummer Night's Dream. It's goofy and fun, a little bit more than everybody dies. But
We haven't got that far yet.
yeah, but you're alive on the planet. You know everybody dies, right? Okay, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. Everybody in Romeo and Juliet dies, except, like, the idiot parents who weren't paying enough attention to notice that their daughter snuck out her bedroom window to be with a teenage boy.
Romeo and Juliet dies.
Yeah, at the
That's
end,
like the whole point of Romeo and Juliet, is that they were star-crossed lovers who didn't pay any attention to anybody, and, like, she thinks he died, so she kills herself, and then no, it's the other way around.
No,
it's her.
He thinks
He thinks that she died,
He kills himself.
so he kills himself, and she wakes up,
and then she
wakes up,
and then she stabs.
finds him dead.
And then she stabs
There's not
herself.
enough poison, so she stabs herself with the dagger. It's the best line in the whole thing. It's like, oh, happy dagger. It's like, and everybody's dead. And this is, of course, after somebody got in a duel and somebody's dead. And that's why they were mad at Romeo at one point, was because he had killed somebody because they had killed somebody.
Yeah.
This is the whole story. Like, West Side Story was based on this.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that I've spoiled the entire story for you, but I just kind of assumed that at this point of life, almost everybody knew the general premise of it, but hadn't read the old English version of it yet. So sorry, but that's what you have to look forward to.
Oh, I won't tell anybody though.
Okay. That's good, thank you. Okay, so I am currently reading, if you don't have anything else to add to the Romeo and Juliet discussion. Okay. I am currently reading What I Like About You, which was one of our new, I think, like November books. When we de-dotted them, I took a bunch of them home to try to read them. And this book, I was really looking forward to this book because I thought it was going to be really awesome. And it's cute, but I don't think it's going to make my list of, like, favorite books ever. It's like 50%, technically you started it, which I've talked about a whole bunch of times before on the podcast. And, like, 50% Eliza and Her Monsters, which I have talked about a couple of times on the podcast before, and I know Ollie has talked about it. It's one of his favorites. So it's like 50% this one, plus 50% this one. The phone can wait. Okay. 50% this one. And so, like, it's a really cool premise. It's a really good thing because much like Eliza and Her Monsters, she's, like, internet famous, but nobody in real life knows it. right? Okay? And much like technically you started it, these people have a relationship with each other online where they don't necessarily know who each other is, but in real life, they have, like, they also meet in, like, real life, and they don't know that the online personas are the real life personas, right? Okay? So, like, it's, like, part this, and, like, I was super excited about it, that it was gonna be amazing, and it's just okay. I like it. It is really cute. I like the characters. They're Jewish. They're both sides of the romance are Jewish, which is not something that you see very often, which is a nice touch. And it's got some really cool, like, teens doing real in the world stuff, which is kind of nice. You don't always necessarily see a lot of, like, teens have opinions that matter outside of, like, teenagers themselves and the occasional librarian who's like, see, they're awesome. So, like, that's kind of cool. Like, it's got a lot of cool elements, but I have been reading it for, like, 2.5 weeks now. Like, every time I put it down, I am able to put it down. Like, I haven't finished it yet. So, like, it's okay. It's cute. We're kind of at the point where pretty soon they're going to have the big blow up of finding out who everybody is and the fact that she's keeping secrets and all that. And sometimes I'm not in the mood to watch the drama unfold. Sometimes I just really just want, like, just don't be stupid and just get together. Like, I just want the happy stuff. Like, real life is full of enough drama. We don't need to make it up. Mm-hmm. But I know for the most part, people wouldn't read books if there wasn't some kind of dramatic something or other in them. It's like watching a TV show that never had any drama. It would be boring. But that's my currently reading. I mean, I did also finish a book of poetry that I enjoyed, but I didn't enjoy it as much as some other people have. I don't remember the title off the top of my head. It's down in teen. And I finished The Love Report, which was a graphic novel. That's one of our newer ones. That one was super cute. There is going to be a volume 2. I'm going to have to keep my eye out for it. It's these girls who were trying to just find out what love really is and what it means. And so, like, they interview everybody and they're making notes and they, have a few relationship kerfuffles and they learn some stuff. And, like, it's super cute. The artwork is super cute. Like, that's the main reason to read it. But, so, like, I had some good stuff. But I also have, like, just read Eliza and her monsters. And technically you started it and you don't have to read what I like about you. Unless you only want to read one book. And then just read that one first. Don't read these two. Okay. Do we have anything else to talk about with the books that we are currently reading?
No.
No? Okay. Then you can push your button and I will push my button.